Welcome to the Important Questions Podcast, the show that answers life's most important questions. I'm Dave, and I am joined by the acolytes of knowledge, some of the most brilliant minds in the entire world. We got Rico.
Hi.
We got Smitty.
Hello, David.
And we have Scott.
Yo, yo, yo.
No one's ever called me David. Not in fucking years. Welcome to episode 4. Very special episode here because for people who are joining
last
us,
episode.
for people who are joining us, there's 3 possible things that happen here. Either A, you started here and you're working backwards. B, you this is my preferred. You listened to our first 3 episodes that dropped together and you decided that we were good enough to come back. Or C, you're Scott and you're listening to this for the 10th time.
Yeah, I'm like a house pet. You got to put on something for me, otherwise I'm gonna feel like I'm alone.
Everyone say hi, future Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Hey, buddy. I hope you're having a good day. I refer to myself as buddy.
This is a show. We ask 4 questions. We have 4 hosts. Those are the 4 topics. Pretty simple format. It's not hard to understand. And today only, I have decided the order ahead of time. It's going to be Dave, then Rico, then Scott, and then Smitty. In that order.
It's bullshit. I don't like
Can't
that order.
argue with that either.
And there is no arguing with the order. But
What
first,
about the reasoning?
No. But first,
Damn. Fuck you.
Smitty mentioned a warm-up question, and I think that'd be good for all of us.
Yeah. So today's warm-up question is, which would you rather find living in your attic? 1,000 roaches or a person?
I'm gonna go with 1,000 roaches.
1,000 roaches, 100%.
Really, 1,000 roaches?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree.
Reason being, it's the way that you phrased it, because you said, which would I rather find? First of all, I'm renting, so I don't give a shit. And if I just find them, like, I feel like I'm going to stumble upon them, not like, oh, they're starting to creep through my ceiling or something. I feel like
Right.
you wouldn't even notice the roaches.
Well, I mean, I was imagining like you open up the trap door to get up in your attic to put away your Christmas decorations, and then like a shit ton of roaches fall down on you. But I personally would rather find roaches as well. So I'm glad we're all in agreement. Great question. Smitty.
Are you
Very
satisfied?
nice job. I'm very satisfied.
I mean, like, there's
Fucking goddamn it.
1,000 roaches would
Sucks.
suck, especially if they all fell down. But I feel like I could deal with them better and easier than I could an actual person. Like that.
No,
That's
like 1,000
fucking
roaches.
terrifying.
That's a lot of roaches.
Yeah.
A few roaches.
Like 1,000 ants doesn't look like a lot, but cockroaches are big.
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's just
still a person.
it's the humanity of the human.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
It's like you can call the exterminator, kill the roaches, and then you're just kind of back to baseline. You can't kill the person for one. You wouldn't want to.
You couldn't call an Orkin guy to do it for you.
Yeah, you got to like
No,
go on the
but
dark
even if you,
web
like,
and get a.
He's got to set a live trap for him.
Even if you call the dark web in Rico's case,
a
or you
whole
just like
ordeal.
call the cops to like escort this guy out, it's like then just like shit. I removed the guy that was living in my attic. I'm terrified of everybody. I don't know what they're
Right.
like,
Mhm.
what's going on in their sinister mind. And immediately I'm gonna think like, this guy knows where I live. He somehow got in my attic. I'm fucking dead.
Yeah, how the
I
fuck
kicked
did
him
he,
out of my house, and now I'm dead.
how did he get up there? Like, that's the terrifying thing.
Yeah, like I live in an old house, and the only way to get up into my attic is a door, or no, it's not even a door. It's just like a trap door that is about the size of my laptop if it was like flattened out. It's absolutely tiny. So, yeah, I don't fucking know. The only other way to get into the attic is like the circular window that's up there. It's like very not ventilated at all.
And as far as like finding a person there, like, I don't think my first reaction would be like, oh, how'd you get in here? I would feel extremely defensive. Like, I would almost be like, dude, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. That would, no thank you. I'll take the roaches.
Yeah.
Is
Alright.
there
Cool.
is there like a threshold of roaches, Scott, where you think it would be like, okay, I think I'll take the dude?
It's probably 1,000 roaches, because honestly, calling the cops and pointing a gun at a dude, telling him to get the fuck out of my house, and letting the cops deal with them afterwards seems like a lot less work than finding 1,000 roaches and then being paranoid that I have 1,000 roaches in my house. And
Because like if there's 1,000 up in the attic, how many are in the
and
walls?
some of them got to get loose in your house when you open up that trap door. There's gonna be a few you don't find. Yeah.
Right.
And isn't it usually also like an ecosystem thing? It's like if the roaches are there, they're a food source for something else, and or they were eating something that drew them there in the first place.
Yeah,
Oh fuck!
I would just feel gross.
I'd feel
Like a
disgusting.
bunch of dead owls up there that the cockroaches are eating.
Meanwhile, the guy that lives in my attic just comes down and finishes off like the rest of my soda or something, and I'm like, I don't remember
Yeah.
drinking that. That's weird. Why is my
The guy in-
towel wet? I didn't shower today.
I was gonna say you leave around like empties of beers, and that's what he finishes off. It's like, all right, that's cool as long as he throws the
Who the
cans
fuck
away.
pissed on my toilet seat? I wasn't even home today.
Right, so it's like
It
there's,
didn't change the toilet paper.
it's like there's dead owls or something sinister happening that brought in the roaches, or a guy came in because he just needed to get warm.
Yeah, well, in that case, I'd probably just let him stay for a little bit, and then be like, all right, if you're not gonna pay rent, you might have to go
Right.
because my water bill's already too high.
Do you have water running up in your attic, Smitty?
I have water in my entire house.
I'm satisfied with the warm up question.
Can you
And
guys even hear
Smitty's
me?
letting his dog out.
Yeah, are you even talking this episode?
Yeah, my waveform is completely flat even when I talk. It's pretty sweet.
I see. I get waveforms for you.
Weird.
I'm seeing it. It looks good. And it doesn't sound like disgustingly loud.
I could change that if that's the direction we want to take things.
He'll adjust his gain.
I'll turn my
Well,
gain up.
that's the Rico. I'd prefer you actually like use your own vocal dynamics. So like if you want to be louder, you can just talk louder.
The funny thing is,
that doesn't. I don't understand.
because you backed up when you did that, Dave, there was no difference in volume. You're like, you could just talk louder.
It's instinctual. I don't want to blow out the mic, dude.
Thanks.
I kind of liked it. Can you talk like that the
That's
rest of the
just-
episode, please?
That felt wrong. Smitty, you satisfied with your warm up question?
Yeah, sure, why not? I'm glad we wasted my time.
Way to cause a rift on the podcast, Smitty.
Yeah.
That's
Dave, what's your question?
Here's my question for the week. You guys wasted my fucking time.
that's a good.
Well, you all
that's
agreed
a-
on it, and then it's like, all right,
I had a
cool.
good time.
the rift in the
Oh, glad Scott
podcast
had a good
thing,
time.
Rico. Great segue
Mhm.
to my question because I'm gonna go first this week, and I want to preface this question with either a couple options here. Number one, we all agree, and we all start ripping on people that we know that are falling into the camp of what I'm about to ask. Or B, this might be controversial because one of you might fall into the category of the people that I'm about to make fun of.
That's like every
Um,
podcast.
That's true. And regardless, I know someone listening at home is going to fall into that camp and might get a little defensive. This is a very simple question. What the fuck is with back pocket users?
Oh, yeah. They're just fucking up their back, man.
It's so fucking stupid. I
Like,
saw,
for
I was just
everything?
traveling this
Hold on,
week.
what?
Like
And I
putting
was
their
seeing
thick ass
people-
wallet in their ass.
Yeah, I put my
Well,
wallet in my
they have
ass
the
pocket.
wallet in one ass pocket, and they have their phone in their other. And
That
there's
one-
like 3/4 of an inch difference between cheeks.
I don't get the cell phone thing because why would you just
Mhm.
want to sit on your phone all the time? Like I feel like
Yeah, that's my theory too.
My dad does
wallet?
that.
I don't know. I feel like the
Fucking
wallet's
psycho.
not it's not significant enough, and I don't keep cash on me, so mine's fairly flat.
But even still, like any sort of like discrepancy between cheeks, like if you have the thinnest wallet in the world, like if you put like anything in my back pocket, it's gonna feel weird to sit on.
My thing
I-
is that
Right.
they've like found that it fucks your back up, and I don't want that. So just use the front pocket.
I've actually never read. I read once that it was like an old wives' tale that it fucked your back up. I didn't know it actually did.
I mean, it's been a while since I've looked this up, but
I mean, it probably also depends on how often you're and for how long you're sitting
yeah.
with the thing in
And
your
how
back
thick
pocket.
that
Like if you
thing in-
sit like all
Yeah.
day.
hmm
And the thickness of what's ever in your pocket. I think some of those like those money clips or like those rigid wallets or whatever else they call them, those would be super uncomfortable.
A Ridge wallet.
Well, like there's some that are
Hashtag
like
it.
hard plastic or metal.
Hashtag idea.
Yeah, I think Ridge is one of them, but I feel like those would be a pain in the ass. But my leather one, just I don't know, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, like I don't carry cash. I don't like. I have a pretty nice wallet. I just don't carry cash in it. It's just all plastic, basically.
Do you guys have
But- I don't know.
do you guys have like a with your 2 pockets? I'm assuming that we've all established at this point we're side pocket users. For
back
me, it's
pocket.
wallet and keys in the right, and then just the phone in the left.
I'm the opposite. Wallet and keys in the left, phone in the right.
Right on.
Rift
But
begins.
the phone gets its own pocket.
Fuck
I
you,
have-
Dave.
Keys in my
Yeah.
left pocket, phone in my right, wallet in my back right.
So
That's
you do
what
use
I
your butt
do.
pocket.
Yeah, I said that.
I do too, but I never put my phone in my back
Yeah.
pocket because I don't want to sit on it.
There is
No
a
phone.
fucking rift.
So there
There is a fucking
Jesus
Yeah, but I'm not
Christ.
heated about it. I don't give a shit what you guys do with your with your wallets. I thought you were gonna say something like people with this, I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like more significant. Not saying that this
I
is
wouldn't-
bad.
front.
I would-
front
yeah.
pocket people drive like this. Back pocket people drive like this.
No, this guy, one of the guys I saw this week, is the whole purpose of me writing this question down. He had a wallet that was so fucking big, that maybe it's just that his butt pocket was small. I don't know, but it seemed like only like 75% of his wallet actually fit, and there was like a good portion of it that was like sticking out of the butt. And like the whole time,
That's
I'm
just
thinking
inviting somebody to just like
Yoink.
pull it.
Yeah, that's
and
just
run,
stupid. Right.
You know.
and not only that, I'm thinking like you pull your pants down to like take a shit, and I feel like I would be so worried about my wallet flopping out and falling into the toilet behind me.
If it was like
Yeah.
that, yeah, but no, I mean, it's normally tucked in. Like my wallet's not huge. Like I said, it's not thick, so it doesn't really bother me.
So you just sit
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
with one cheek elevated higher than the other.
I don't really notice it anymore. I've been doing it for like 15 years at
When
this
you
point.
when you take off your pants and look at your ass cheeks, do you have like an imprint of a wallet on your ass? Could
Does
you
it look like
demonstrate it
can
right now?
slot like a wedge of a 2x4 in
Yeah.
there.
I don't know. Maybe that would help a little bit more if I put one
You
up.
gotta
on-
shim your ass.
Shim it.
Oh,
I do
man.
switch. I do put my wallet in my front pocket if I'm gonna go like to a concert or something where there's like a lot of people. Just
Mhm.
because back pocket's kind of easier to slip something out than the side pockets. So
I'm also very paranoid.
I've kind of
about-
gotten used to not carrying my wallet around with me. Honestly, like I don't, because I bike to
Mhm.
work, so I don't need to have my license on me. So I don't really, I more often than not leave my wallet at home. And if I'm like going somewhere in a vehicle and I'm driving, like I'll leave my big ass wallet. It's not even that big. It's just like I don't want to put it in my pocket because it's uncomfortable. I'll just leave it in the car and I'll just take a card with me if I need
yeah,
it.
that's something my brother does, and I never got that. Like every time I leave the house, I have to do the phone, wallet, keys pat down,
Yep.
and I feel weird even if I'm not going to bring my wallet, or if I don't need it, I still bring it just in case.
So do people like? Do you do that throughout the day as well? Because I do that throughout the day when I'm out places,
Just like
to make
the
sure I didn't
3-point
lose it at some
check?
point. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every now and then. I mean, I sit on my wallet so I know when it's there.
So do people like look at you weirdly when you're just rubbing on your ass in public
Well,
to make sure your wallet's there?
I go like this. I just
Or do-
pat my arm on it. I don't sit there and just start
Uh-huh.
cupping it and go, oh, yeah, wallet's in there.
Start grabbing
Give
my
yourself
ass.
an ass pat. Good job. Good job,
Right.
Scott. Pat pat.
I do that after I find out or figure out that my wallet is still there. I just, yeah, good job, buddy.
Okay. Okay.
Have you guys noticed an increase recently in the amount of men using bags? Like essentially a
Like
purse.
Like fanny packs.
Just like essentially like a purse. It might
Mhm.
look more like a satchel. It might be like tailored more to be like masculine.
No.
Only if you're carrying like a laptop with you. Like otherwise, I haven't seen anybody do that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen a little bit more of that recently. And
I'll carry a backpack sometimes if I've got like a bunch of
Mhm.
stuff.
yeah, for
but
like a bunch of shit.
usually
but-
like if I've got like a couple of things and it's like I don't really want to fit all this in my pockets, I'll try to like, slim it down a little bit. I can like figure out which stuff I can leave.
I have a
I've only
feeling
got so much
um,
carrying capacity.
I have a feeling that high society is trying to push separate accessory bags for men. Because
Well, that's what they do with women, right? They
Right.
made the pockets so tiny and then they make purses.
my wife bitches about that all the time. That it's just like their clothes are so non-functional for what they actually need to carry So she just went out and got a new winter coat this year, and it has like one of the it's technically a man's coat, quote unquote, but the inside of it has like one of those really nice deep pockets, and she fucking loves it because there's actual like there's style, but there's also functionality of the clothing.
Well, that's why they make women's clothing so like thin too. So they're like, ooh, layering is in, and it's like so you have to wear like 4 different shirts.
Right. And I don't think there's any reason for like marketing to not try and push that same shit on us.
Please
Well, I
don't
mean,
give them ideas, man.
Absolutely not. I mean,
I'm not giving them ideas.
why-
I think the
why
idea's already
we're-
there.
We're cattle ripe for the slaughter for capitalism. Why wouldn't they do that?
Yeah. Anyways,
Mm.
Cool.
I hate like and I know that women usually have the bigger problem because most of their pants don't come with pockets or whatever, but I've got a nice blazer or like a sport coat or whatever that I like to just wear casually, and it's got like the pocket right here on the front, which would be awesome for like sunglasses or pen or whatever. It's fake.
Mhm.
It's fake.
oh, it's stitched over.
Yeah.
I
There-
fucking hate that.
There's
dude.
not even a pocket like in the back. Like I couldn't even cut stitches and use it. It's just there's nothing.
Oh, it's just like a little flap on
Yeah,
the front.
So dumb.
That's
Yep.
stupid. Hate that shit.
And it would be a really good spot for a
Man.
pocket, but no.
Do you guys have the Yeah, I'm looking at my pockets right now. There's like the side pocket, but then there's like the side pocket in the pocket.
Oh, you mean the weed pocket?
Yeah, that's for a dime bag.
That's just
All right,
It's also for how you lose change in your pockets.
I don't put anything in there that's too tight.
Well, sometimes I forget that like that's in there, so I'll just like slide stuff in there by accident, and then it'd be like, oh fuck, I thought I put something in
What
my
is it
pocket.
actually there
So
for?
then I have to explore my pocket.
It's your pocket's pocket.
What
What is it
Rico?
even there for? Like actually,
I think it's just to piss off women because we're not going to give them any pockets, but
men
here's
get
another
two.
one that that guys don't even need.
Women get
That's why I like the,
63% of the pockets and men's do. Men do.
Mhm.
Especially if you compare those to fucking cargo shorts.
Mr. President, we cannot allow a pocket cap.
I love cargo shorts, dude. I know so
Yeah.
many people hate them, but I love them.
I'm on the hating them side.
I like shorts that have cargo pockets but are above the knee, so they technically are not traditional cargo shorts.
Okay, I get down with that.
Like they're not like full cargo pockets. They got like extra pockets and shit. But you know, when you think of cargo pockets, they're like baggy and they're like mid calf.
What do you put in your cargo pockets?
Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, my Game Boy.
I do like.
I
I've got a
switch.
pair of khakis that one of them's kind of like it's a lot more casual, but it's above the knee and it has like a cargo pocket. That's where I'll put my wallet. It's a good spot for it.
The older I get, the more I understand that like pants that are shorts that are below the knee are not that comfortable for whatever reason. And I kind of understand why old men wear Speedos in the pool. Because they like my shorts are getting slowly higher and higher as I get older. Because like I don't have shorts that like other than like basketball shorts, I don't have shorts that go below the knee anymore. They're either at the knee or a little bit above. So by the time I'm like 40, they're probably going to be very squarely above. By the time I'm 50 or 60, it's going to be like
We're
they're
see
going to be
your
like
nuts.
booty shorts.
Yeah, let's say
Yeah, you're going to see low hanging
Mhm.
fruit there. And then by the time I'm 80, it's going to be thong.
At what point does the short length meet ball sack length as your balls get longer and your shorts get shorter? There's gonna be a
Well,
Around
unless like
65, 70.
going out in public with your balls hanging out is going to be like socially acceptable, there's always going to be a pouch in the front. So eventually it's just going to be a string with a pouch. If I live to be that age anyway,
Where would you put your wallet in that, Smitty?
I won't need my wallet. They'll just do like facial recognition and they'll charge my account that
Yeah.
way. Or I just won't have any money.
Just by looking at your face, I could tell you don't have fucking money.
Yep. Except it'll be a computer telling me that, and I gotta go back to my homeless encampment on the fringes of the city and just
Do
hope
some
that
Shakespeare.
whatever
Yeah.
roaming bands of fascists don't bulldoze us in the middle of the night,
Oh god.
or I'll die in the resource wars. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I'm satisfied.
I thought that was going to be way more hardcore than it was. Like when you said this was going to send a rift through the podcast, I was like,
Yeah.
huh.
What'd you think? What'd you think I was gonna fucking do?
We're
Of
gonna
course,
talk
it set
about
it up
milk
as a
again.
joke.
Well, I know it's gonna be something stupid.
I got
but
I can come up with a question that can cause a rift. I got fucking one locked and fucking loaded right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog.
Well, I'm pretty sure I said at the beginning of the episode that Rico was first. I mean, sorry, Rico was second.
Mm.
That
I'll
said,
wait my
You
turn
can be a
then.
rebel.
Scott said, "Can we question my reasoning?" And Scott, I think you can. I'm kind of interested in Smitty's question
What's
now.
your fucking reasoning, Dave?
That Smitty hyped his question up.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I
problem.
was
now.
just curious as to why you chose that order. And
I don't know.
if
I was
anything, is to
thinking about it.
generate discussion. I didn't really give a shit about the answer.
Smitty,
Bunch of
what you
bullshit.
got?
Dave, are you trying to sow discord in our little group here?
I was hoping we would eventually end up yelling at each other because it's kind of funny.
That's true.
But Smitty, I'm hoping that you could do that with whatever your question is.
Yeah, sure, why not? And then I'm gonna put a pause right here, just in case we need to cut.
Oh Jesus.
Oh
If this
shit!
content sucks ass.
Oh.
Sounds good.
So,
I don't like conflict, so
all right. So my question is, do you guys tip, and how do you feel about tipping various people who make your food or bring your packages or cut your hair or whatever?
I do, but I don't like it.
yeah, same.
I think that's most logical
Yeah.
people's opinion is it sucks ass, but what can we do
I don't
about
like
it?
that it's getting more like I don't know. I feel like the tablets that they like flip over to you, that's
Yeah.
more like easy to just kind of be like, nah, fuck that. Especially when it was like you're like in and out in 2 seconds or something
Mhm.
at the place you
Yeah.
were at.
Yeah.
It's like traditionally jobs that you wouldn't have tipped before.
Right, yeah.
They're
COVID
like
made it,
flipping the
a thing.
tablet over, and like the default tip like automatically sets to like 20%. You see
Right.
it's already highlighted,
Yeah.
and you have to like opt out of the tip. Which I
Mhm.
think there's definitely some psychology behind that, right? Where it's just like you feel worse
Mhm.
that it's already there and you opt out versus it's not there,
Yep.
but you can choose to tip.
Oh, they know what they're
that-
doing for sure.
Like you said on
Mm.
stuff that never asked you to tip before. Like, yeah, it's great if we could throw money in a tip jar every now and then, but I hate fucking companies making me feel like I have to pay their employees the wage that they deserve.
Right.
Right. That,
Like,
isn't that the thing
fuck
too? Is
you.
like it's just supplement. It's to supplement the income of the people actually working for
Right.
you, as opposed to like a little bit of extra.
Yep.
Right.
Unless they're like the amount of people they're working with, because like sometimes depending on the place you're working at, if it's like if it's food service, if you're at like a nice restaurant and if you're wait staff, you might make a decent living, depending on how much people are tipping
Right.
you.
Yeah.
But also like the psychology behind tipping is so weird because some people like depending on the like sometimes the quality of the service doesn't even matter. It's completely arbitrary whether or not people get tips.
There's been like very few times in my life, and it's because of that like kind of arbitrary you tip regardless mentality.
Mhm.
There's been a few times in my life where I did not tip, but it took a lot for me to get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm talking like
I'm the
there's
same
one
way, yeah.
restaurant that I recall where I did not tip, and it's because we meaning my wife and I, we went somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour without anyone checking in on us.
That's pretty
That
nuts.
was
Yeah,
my
and we were-
experience
we
when I
were-
Was
did
it like
as
a
well.
busy place too, or what?
I don't think it was. It's possible they were understaffed for the amount of people they had, which is a
Yeah.
problem in of itself that companies never hire enough people to serve the amount of people that they want to bring in.
Right.
But on the surface, I mean, not knowing what their staffing model was, it was a sushi restaurant, not knowing what their staffing model was, it looked like a pretty normal evening.
Yeah. Like margins for restaurants are already like razor thin. Like in most restaurants anyway. So it's I don't know, supplementing the income of the people working or not like serving you, I guess. And even saying like people serving me feels kind of gross. I don't know. Something about that rubs me the wrong way, even though that's literally what they're doing. But I don't know.
Serving is just a word that means two like opposite things, I feel like.
Dave, do you remember when we went to that restaurant not too far from your house? It was me, you, and your wife, and like it took us like 2 hours to get food. You got your stuff like way ahead of time. The other two dishes were completely wrong, and they like you kept your food, but it took like another half an hour, 35 minutes before your wife's food and mine came out. I I feel like we still tipped, but I do remember kind of talking that over. Did we still do the full 20% or
I don't remember this actually, so I can't chime in and say.
okay?
I'm assuming if that, because the way you're describing it, if that was a scenario where I would not tip unless I knew or someone told me ahead of time. It's just like, look, here's what I'm fucking dealing with, and I could tell, like, yeah, things are really shitty right now, but there's a good reason for why it's shitty. And then maybe I would, but I don't know this story enough to say.
I don't even remember a manager coming over to like say, "Oh, hey, we're going to take this much off your bill." Like, I feel like that's a pretty common thing now. Whenever you have a shitty experience, a manager's not going to be like, "Hey, man, I'll take like 10 or 15%, 20% or whatever off your meal." They're just like, "Sorry, you had a bad experience," and then that's it.
Yeah, and they still
Fuck
highlight
you.
the 20%.
Hope you don't come back, but we already got your
Right.
money. It used to be like the upper limit of what would be an acceptable tip used to be like 15%. That was like 10 years ago,
Right.
even more years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like now it feels like default should be 20% because everything's so fucking expensive everywhere. And like I just by default, I always tip, even if the service is kind of shitty,
Mhm.
because I don't want to be the person that was taking up somebody's time and might make the difference between somebody being able to pay their electric bill
Yeah.
that month.
Yeah.
You know? And like, again, it's a shitty system and I don't want to play ball with it, but what's the alternative? Making somebody like who is probably already on the brink of poverty make less
Right.
money? Like, I don't want to be that fucking guy.
Especially if it's only you. Like if it's a collective, like 75% of people tomorrow decide no more tips, then like it's probably going to have to generate some sort of change.
Right.
That it would probably start first with like a news cycle of people in suits that make millions of dollars casting shame on all of us. And it's just like,
Right.
people are pieces of shit suddenly. What the fuck happened?
Millennials can't afford to go out to eat because they can't afford to tip.
They're
Why?
killing
That's
the
a bad
tip industry.
thing. Why it's okay to eat out but not tip. Like,
Right.
you just get op-ed writers with brainworms, like writing all these
Right.
think pieces
Right.
where they're not doing any thinking whatsoever.
You know, the other thing about those tablets that spin around that pisses me off is not all. I don't think all of that goes to the staff, and some of that gets taxed if you're paying for it on credit or debit. So that
Right.
person's not even getting like a full percentage of it. Like it's fucking stupid. It's
Yeah,
irritating.
That's actually a really good
Yeah.
point.
That's fucked up. I wish they could disclose that. Like, if I knew that like 5% of my tip was going directly to the restaurant and the rest was going to the person, I'd probably end up tipping a little bit more, just so they could get the proper amount.
I'd probably make a more conscious effort to go get cash and just tip them cash and not do anything on my card.
That too, but like a lot of places require their waitstaff to declare their cash tips
Yeah,
too,
fuck that.
which is really shitty.
I'd hand them a tip with a note that says, "This is between you and me."
Right.
Meet
I-
me after work
Yeah.
behind the building.
I have kind of an adjacent question, if that's okay.
Can I make one more point
Uh,
about
yeah.
tipping real fast?
Yeah.
So I had an ex-girlfriend and her dad used to go on this rant, and I don't know, I think about it a lot nowadays where like you go to a table and you've got 8 people and they already add like let's say a 20% tip on there or whatever.
Right.
I get why they do it. But
Oh, the gratuity or whatever.
but he would sit there
Yeah.
and he'd be like, why do you guys all automatically add that in there? Like if you think that's a sufficient tip, that's when I'm going to tip. But if you didn't tell me to do that, I would have tipped twice that or what, something along those lines. And I'm like,
Mhm.
that's a weird way to think. I don't know if you guys identify with that or think that's like kind of a cool or a bad thing, but I always thought it was interesting.
It's more work to serve that many people, so I think it's a good thing to have a tip built in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of douchebags out there that straight up won't
that's true.
because for any reason or another. No, I think 18% is usually what you see if it's like a party of 8 or more
Yeah.
or whatever it is. And I think that's
Yeah,
a fair
something like that.
average, and I don't think they anticipate that you tip on top of the tip. I think
Mhm.
in an event where you're having a party of 8 or more, they're just protecting themselves
Yeah.
at that point from not getting a tip.
Mhm.
Totally makes sense. And I have tipped on top of that, mostly on accident.
I like
Oops.
you see these stupid discourses on Twitter all the time. Like if you go out to eat but you can't afford to tip, you can't go out to eat. And like yes, that's absolutely true.
I mean, you can go out to eat at fucking Subway.
Yeah.
They'll still prompt you to tip there, though.
If you go out to eat and you can't afford to tip, like I don't know. It gets like there's a weird nuance to it too, because there are those restaurants that build the tip in there, or they pay their workers better than others. But I don't know. You're stealing somebody's labor in a way if you go out and you can't afford the tip, but you can afford the rest of the meal.
I don't even feel like I feel like the line between things that you used to tip for and things that you never used to now is just so blurred. Like I'll go to a comic book shop or whatever. I'll pick out my own stuff off the shelf. I'll ring it up. The guy's like, "Do you want to add a tip on there?" I'm like, "For what?"
Yeah. I feel like I predicted this like years ago. There was like, because I remember I went somewhere. I think I picked up a package from FedEx or something. I don't actually remember. I went somewhere and it was a weird, like, I didn't think I would have to tip for this. And I was like, I bet this is going to catch on. And then they're going to have people tipping everywhere just so companies don't have to pay their workers as much and they can get supplemental income from tips.
I
But,
feel like
like,
this was
It feels like it's everywhere.
wasn't there years ago like a classic 4chan green text? It was just like some guy making fun of Americans, where it's just like he flies into America, the plane lands, everyone cheers. On his way out
Yeah.
the plane, he tips the pilot. He walks through the airport and goes to baggage claim, gets his bag, tips whoever's at baggage claim, gets into a taxi, tips the taxi, goes to the hotel, tips the bellboy, tips the people at the front desk, goes up to his room, leaves money on the counter for whoever's cleaning his room between uses, goes fucking everywhere, tips everywhere, and then it ends with him getting shot.
Yeah, pretty much. Sounds about right. Do you guys tip when you go to the barber? Barber?
Yes.
I do,
Yeah.
and depending on the quality, I will actually. That's one of those places where it's like, I don't feel compelled to tip 20% by default, but my tip will increase very proportional to the quality of the haircut.
And the quality of the conversation too, I'm sure.
To me, the best conversation is like none.
Yeah. If I get a haircut and they don't talk to me, I will actually tip a lot more.
Yeah, fucking right.
Like, don't talk to me. Just
You
come
pay him
here.
up front.
Yeah.
Quick buzz. Don't say
like the-
anything. Here's $20.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like the only thing that I need for fucking conversation at the barber is just like, do you want it squared in the back or rounded?
Would you like any
That's it.
product in your hair?
No. No product.
No. Would you like a hot towel? Yes.
Yes, I would.
Okay. You're done. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would tip the shit out of that, especially if it's quality haircut. I was
I feel like my tipping oh god damn it. Dave, you're trying to tell a story. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say that I was prompted to tip about a month ago at an automatic car wash.
What?
What the fuck?
Yes, there's an attendant with an iPad, and it's one of those places where you put your car in neutral and it just takes you through the car wash.
Mhm.
No, it's on the track.
Yeah, so there's an attendant there with an iPad, and he asks you what you want, and you can buy like the Supreme, the Deluxe, or the Deluxe Supreme, right? And he asks at the end, he's like, "You'd add a tip if you want." And I've never done this before in my life, but I decided in that moment I was going to ask. I was like, "What do you guys do?" It's like, do you guys like towel it off at the end? Like it's a legitimate question. I'm like,
Right.
I'm looking at this car
Yeah,
wash on a
that's
track.
weird.
And I just asked straight up, I was like, what do you guys do? And he let me know just like all the, like, they're the ones that are like, actually, if you go through the track, like they're like on the inside, kind of like making things happen. And they're like, oh, like they're the ones that maintain and they move these like machines a certain way. And like when they get out, they're like somehow involved in I forgot how he phrased it. But essentially, like you could see that there was like actions happening on the inside of the car wash
Hmm.
as you're going through the car wash.
That never occurred to me that it wasn't fully automated.
Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of odd,
I don't think they all are.
but
That is
Like
odd.
that.
Yeah, I see some that are like you'll see people walking on like the whatever walkway they have behind this stuff, but they don't do anything. At least the ones that I've seen. I'm not saying.
I mean,
that,
that's kind of what it was, Scott.
Yeah.
It's not like they were like pulling levers and shit.
yeah,
but,
no, that's bullshit. No tip.
But I feel like if they were like hand drying or like waxing your car at the end or something like that, that would constitute a tip.
I would agree.
But just a car wash on a track,
Yeah, no.
I don't think so.
I feel like even if the person asking for a tip didn't do much, I'd still feel compelled to tip because I'm like, oh, what, like an extra $3? All right, whatever. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's just like it's never like, unless I'm like paying for like a lot, like, and even then, like if something costs a lot and then it requires a tip, I'll still tip and it'll cost a little bit of a chunk. But like, if I got like a $15 car wash and they're like, can you tip? I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? And throw $5 at somebody who doesn't seem to be doing anything, but it's like, it's $5. Who cares? Like if I'm getting a $15 car wash, like I can probably afford to throw an extra $5 on there.
I don't know, man.
It's just the principle.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't do anything, I don't think you should get anything.
Yeah. I also feel like a little bit like probably bad the more I think about it, because like healthcare, for example, nursing is totally a service industry. Whether you think about it like that or not. And yeah, they could say that nurses make good money or whatever. But like
Some heavy quotes.
But
right
if I
there.
accepted like a tip or a gift or anything, I could be fired immediately. Like, I don't know. So when I see people that, and I'm not trying to like gatekeep or anything, but some of the people that like work behind the counters where you like just spin the iPad around, and if you don't tip, like I've seen people online get kind of irritated about that. It's like, dude, I just brought somebody back from the fucking dead. You're not even gonna hand me a $5 bill. Like that's obviously not why I do it or anything, but it's like, come on, people. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with this.
I don't know, it's still commodified labor.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like as a teacher, I don't get tipped. The best thing I get is like I get a free lunch every couple of months for like institute days, and like sometimes I'll get little gifts from parents
Yeah.
for like Christmas, and you know that'll bridge the gap between me and the poverty line. You know.
Have you guys
So-
ever been in a situation where you didn't realize until after the fact that you were supposed to tip and then you felt bad?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have.
No.
Rico, what's your story?
Which makes me feel worse because now I'm panicking that I just blatantly didn't tip somebody. Now I feel like an asshole.
I get like the last time, or the first thing that comes to mind is that I forgot that where we were going is like valet, and I typically do not carry cash on me, and I just completely forgot that that was a thing that I would need to do. So I had like a very small number of bills on me that was not enough for a tip, but I gave it to him, and I just feel like even more of a piece of shit. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm tipping you like $3.
Even if it's like a tiny tip, it's still better than nothing.
Yeah.
Because like some people are like, if I was doing a service industry job and like I got like a handful of pocket change as a tip, like I'd be insulted, but I'm like, yeah, it's still a little bit of extra money.
Yeah.
Which isn't that fucking like ridiculous? Like that's where my dignity is at. Like, oh, it's better than nothing. I got 2 quarters. Piece of gum.
Now, Dave, you and I were both delivery boys for a little bit. You were doing it a little bit longer than I did, but I'm sure you've come across like those people that you bring them their food and they're like, "Oh, okay, you keep the change," and it's like 17 cents.
Delivering pizza was very much like a rounding up tip. So it's not like there was no percentage based off of it. It was just like if you ordered $28, you got $30. And sometimes you still had to give change back. But like the generous tips were typically like if you ended up with a $33 bill, and they would just like by default they would have like 2 20s, and they'd just be like, yeah, keep the change. You got $7 because of rounding. But yeah, generally like that's all it was. Or like to your point, Scott, like if it's like $29 and they give you 30, then it's just like, fuck, I made like 97 cents. That's my tip.
I normally I think that part's whatever, because I can understand it if it's really close by, like super Anyway, but when they're specifically like, yeah, you can keep the change, buddy, and it's like 17 cents, it's like, fuck you, dude.
And you have to say thank
Yeah.
you because it's the professional thing
Yeah.
to do.
Right.
Thanks, bud.
Fuck you.
About like every time I bought pizza to get it delivered, it's always been on card. So and depending on how close it is, I'll just it's easy because it's like kind of a universal system
I
too.
still tip 20%.
Where
I
same.
I feel weird not tipping 20%, even at like when I got my tattoo or like stuff like that. I'm like, how much am I supposed to tip this dude? Because that's like another couple hundred. Like, and he's doing a great job,
Mhm.
or he did a great job. But like, I was a broke ass, just graduated college student at that point.
I had no idea you were supposed to tip a tattoo artist, but I don't have
Same.
tattoos.
I just
so-
assumed.
I mean, there's been times where I've had to Google whether or not I was supposed to tip a certain service. Like when my wife and I
Yeah, I've
moved
done
and
that
we
too.
hired movers, it was like $1,000 for the fucking move between 3 people for like 2.5 hours or
Those
something
guys
like
sucked ass. They did not deserve a tip either. Fuck those dudes.
that. Those guys too. I forgot that I did this twice. Twice I've hired movers, and both times I had to fucking Google. It's just like, what do you tip? And typically it's just like you give them like $10 per person per hour or some shit like that. So it's like if you have 3 people, you give them each $30 if they worked for 3 hours.
It's pretty common, I think.
How long ago was that article written though?
I don't fucking know, dude. And that's the problem,
like,
right? I was like,
yeah.
I had to Google it in the first place. It was just one person's opinion of it that I ended up reading. And just in general, like I disagree with the whole premise of like tipping anybody. I still do it, but it's fucking shitty. It's just like, yeah, you did the whole job. You're giving them $1,000, but also give them 90 more.
Right, but like they're not getting that. Those workers are not getting the $1,000 though. They're just
No,
getting
they're
a
getting
piece
whatever
of it,
their
you know?
hourly
That's
is.
still hard when you're like you're
Yeah.
low on money and you have to fork out 1,000. Like it sucks.
Yeah.
Capitalism's bullshit.
Yeah, and you got to fork out an extra 90.
Sword wall.
It is, man. Yeah. You know what really gets me though is like sometimes when like you go on the internet and you like unfortunately get into a debate with a hardcore capitalist and they're like, no, see, it works like that. It's like, motherfucker, I know how it works. I just object to it on moral grounds. And it's like, I'm not stupid. I get it. Like I fucking understand how the system works. It's just a bad fucking system for people.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, I go to a coffee shop in town pretty frequently, and it's like a mom and pop shop. Not that it really matters, but there's only like 3 staff members, and it's like the owner, his wife, and then like I think his like
Mistress.
one of his kids works there. No, not his. Oh, maybe I don't
Could
know,
be.
but like their coffee is like decently priced. It's like a $4 coffee, and I'll round it up to 10 just because like it's a small business. And like I can afford like throwing $10 at a coffee shop like every 2 weeks, you know?
And you know coffee's like marked the fuck up too, right?
Yeah. But like I know like it's going directly to these people
Yeah.
specifically. Like the people who own the place are working the place, you know? And so like I don't mind paying that little extra because they're also like it's a small business and they also know me by name. So it feels nice to go into the place and like be the guy that's like, oh, he doesn't have a complicated order and he tips well and he's like courteous. Like that's like that's the best thing to be for like a regular for a place.
I have a breakfast place not far from me that I go to at least like maybe once a week or so. I walk in, they don't even give me a menu anymore, and it's just they just repeat my order and good to go. And I always, I mean,
There you go.
my bill I think is like $12 or $13. I always tip it, or like it's usually always 20 or over with tip and everything. So
I think that's my favorite part about being like a regular at a place is like when you walk in, they're like, "Hey, you want
Yeah.
such and such thing?" And like,
Yep.
yes, I do.
I have
That's
never
awesome.
had
and,
that.
and knowing that.
It's a good feeling. You feel like a little celebrity for a
and
second.
it's kind of nice too because being in the service industry, whether that being delivering pizzas or in healthcare or whatever, like you find those good, like those regulars that are not a pain in the ass. You look forward to it because you're like, this person's not going to mentally stress me out today. I'm not going to have to put up with any rude bullshit from them, and you know that they're going to tip well. So regulars are awesome.
Yeah.
I
Right.
bet you there are shitty
Oh,
regulars.
I
though.
know there are for a fact there are, but
Mhm.
Like the no tipping
yeah.
is a bitch every time they come through the door. but yet
Yeah.
somehow they keep coming through the door, even though they complain every time that the service sucks.
I feel like the regulars that are shitty are not the people that when they walk in, the person at the counter is like, "Hey, you want this?" Like they let them take their time and order. Whereas like if it's somebody nice, it's like, "Hey, you probably want this, right?" So, which that it's nice to be like remembered at least a little bit too. There's something
Mhm.
about that just
Yeah.
feels good.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
fucking agree.
It's like moving to a small town, moving back to a small town from the suburbs. Like it felt good to be like recognized, and it also like it's a double edged sword too because like I teach the kids of the owners of that coffee shop, and I get on well with their kid. But what if their kid was a piece of shit, right? Like then I have to go to the coffee shop, and then it's like, hey, it's the regular who's an art teacher who is failing my kid. I was like, I don't want that. So luckily, that kid's doing well in my class,
Unless-
but I do think about that
Unless the
sometimes.
business owner's like, "Hey, I'm sorry that my kid's kind of a pain in the ass. Sometimes your coffee's on the house today."
See, that would
there
be
you go.
dope. But like, their kid's
But then
nice.
you'd
I like
still
their
feel
kid.
bad,
This is
And
the
you
kid
give him
who-
just as much money.
Yeah, I would. If I got coffee on the house, I
Yeah.
would still tip. Just like however much it was supposed to be.
And
I
that's
tip
what
on that.
sucks when I only have a credit card on me, because if somebody did some shit, I'm like, "You got to ring me up for something." Now I have to buy shit.
The kid of the coffee shop owners, this is a kid who brought me that solid copper heat sink
Oh,
for
nice.
a server rack. Because it's his aunt and uncle that own the coffee shop. His dad works in IT, and so they just have like shit tons of just old IT parts lying around. So he brought me that big ass like solid copper fucking heat sink just in the middle of the day. He's like, "Hey, I was carrying this around. You can have it." I'm like, "What the fuck am I gonna do with this?" But thank you.
What did
I
you
looked
do
it up.
with
It doesn't weigh very much, so it's not worth that much in like raw metal. But like also the little flanges or whatever the fuck, the little flaps in there for the heatsink, because it's got those little like Rico knows what I'm talking about. He works in computers.
Sure.
The big genre of jobs that are computers. But
can fix your
some of
printer,
them are like bent. Yeah.
it?
Some of the little flaps are bent, so it's like not usable as a heatsink anymore.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he just dropped it off. Now it's a
It
paperweight on my
looks like
desk.
one of those because it had like all the slots in between. It looks like like a
Mhm.
microscope drawing rack, or like for microscope slides that you could like set up in there. That's what it reminded me of at first.
Yeah, I can see that. I think I'm gonna have it because like the flaps are like tall enough that I could put papers in it. If it's like cardstock, I could probably like slot
Nice.
the papers in
It's
there.
actually a pretty good idea.
So I might use it for that. Otherwise, I'll probably just sell it for scrap because what else am I gonna do with it? I don't need to collect shit. Like teachers are hoarders by nature. I don't need more stuff.
You satisfied?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Hell yeah. It's 2 questions
Hey,
without
we're not-
a rift in the podcast.
We're not very mad today. That's unfortunate.
Rico?
My question
you
is
make us
about
mad?
barbers. So during COVID, I went to a barber that was, or actually it was before COVID. I'm sorry. I went to a barber that was close to me, and then COVID happened, and she had to like pick a location because there's multiple locations for the place that she cuts hair, and she chose the other location, which is like 25 minutes away instead of like less than 10. I kept going to her because I like her and I think she does a good job. And I have since, and she's like stayed there permanently. I've since moved farther away, so it's like 45 minutes one way, or like 40 minutes, I guess. I still have been going there. Like I said, I think she does a good job and I like her. But she's been increasing her prices, and with the kid, like the drive is kind of going to be more of a pain in the ass because that's like, with the haircut, that's like over 2 hours round trip. So
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm just curious, what is your determining factor / cutoff / etiquette around switching barbers? Or like just, the general kind of situation, switching some service that you like. Like
I have never been loyal to
Dentists
a barber in my fucking life.
you've never what?
Neither have I.
So you can not do what Scott did. And I had a good friend of mine who was cutting my hair, and I like kind of hit on her a little bit, and she doesn't want to cut my hair anymore. So
So I should hit on her.
Yeah, and then she
It'll
wouldn't
make
cut
it a
your
lot
hair.
easier. Make it easier to let go.
Perfect.
Drive yourself away from the barber.
I'm seeing other barbers.
That's good because you're weird.
I've always
Fucking gross,
hated
go away.
cutting your hair.
I don't want
You're
your
the only
gross
person
money.
I wear
Yeah.
gloves to cut their hair for.
Cover the
Um,
mirrors. I don't want to look at you.
She puts the cape like right up at your forehead line so you can't see your
Mhm.
face.
She puts a bag over your head, but the top of the bag is like cut off, so she can still cut your hair.
the fuck are you guys trying to say?
The Scott shouldn't have hit on his barber.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you were
right.
calling me ugly.
No. Well, I mean, but
Hey,
just kidding.
love you too.
No, I've never been loyal to a barber. I've only been to a barber, like a legitimate barber, maybe less than 10 times in my life. Like I cut my own hair, like, because I'm not vain enough to give a shit about it, and I'm losing my hair anyway. It's going back,
Mm.
so it's like, why would I pay somebody to do what I can do at home, which is I just do one fucking guard all the way around. Who gives a shit?
I've also don't think I've really ever gone to a barber where they like do the hot towel thing or really take a straight
She
razor
does
like to
that.
your neckline or anything. My friend did, and then I hit on her, and it was weird. But otherwise, like now I just go to like Great Clips and shit, like because who cares? It's like $15.
There's a couple of barbers around here that do like the whole like shebang with like the hot towel. They do the straight
Yeah.
razor stuff to kind of line everything up. And I'd be willing to go to one of those if I like had like a bigger beard, because like I cut my beard down. If I had like a beard that need trimmed, I would go there for that. Not for what's on my head though, just because like I don't care enough about the hair on my head.
It would probably take them like 10 seconds. They'd probably not even charge you for it. Or like
I
charge
mean,
you
I'd
$5.
still tip, but
Yeah.
But like there's something. I mean, there's like a masculine romanticism about old barbershops,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like because it smells a certain way. It's got that sandalwood smell. It's got like the, like the old sports and like cars and shit on the walls. It's like it used to be like where the dudes hung out. That's where you hung out with your
Yeah.
boys
Where
in the 1960s.
where you walk in and the barber's just like, "Oh, you stupid motherfucker, you back here again for another haircut?" And you're like, "Yeah, you dirty bastard." And then you just sit down
Yeah.
and smoke a cigar and wait your turn.
I think the last time I went to a real barbershop was when I was up in the suburbs, and I swear to God, the guy cutting my hair looked exactly like Coach Ditka, who used to coach the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had the flat top, he had the mustache. He wasn't like as like burly of a guy, but he definitely was like, he looked a little bit like Ditka. I don't know. He had like that very strong Chicago accent too.
I bet if you said that to him, he would have been flattered.
Oh, I'm sure
Yeah.
he would.
Did he have like the same like sunglasses, and was he chewing on a stogie?
No, he wasn't wearing sunglasses inside, but he was wearing glasses, like the big like 1970s like window glasses.
He either would have been like super over the moon that you complimented him with something like that, or he would have been like horribly insulted. And he would have been like, "No, I
Probably,
came
yeah.
before Ditka. I was the original Ditka."
Yeah.
I used to go to a barber before I moved a few years ago, and they ended up closing down. It's about as close as I ever got to being loyal to a barber. Probably went like 3 or 4 times. And then Rico, I think similar to your story, I don't think they closed, but they moved. And they didn't move far, but they moved far enough to where it was inconvenient, even with me not having a life or a kid after working hours. I mean, I easily could have made the 5-mile loop to go to the barber where they moved. But it's just like, again, like it was, I guess it was kind of cool having that old romanticism of the old school barber place. And the fact that like the barber that was cutting my hair had a long sleeve shirt that was rolled up to his elbows, and you could see that he had a tattoo of a pair of scissors on his forearm. You're like, oh yeah, this guy's passionate about being a fucking barber.
No, they have like cosmetic and beauty schools for women or people who want to go into that vocation. I don't want to be like sexist, but like they do have barber schools too, right?
Yeah, barber
like
school's totally
specifically,
different.
yeah. I was gonna say it's probably significantly
I've
different.
heard it's a little bit more hardcore. I don't know if that's true or anything, but I've heard it's, yeah, they're like a little bit more intense about how they educate with that.
I had a weird moment, and it probably applies to this too, where like, like as a kid or like a young adult, you think like people who are professionals never have to look shit up to like do their job. Like when I was getting my hand X-rayed, the lady who was working the X-ray machine, she had to like consult like a little booklet to determine like how to like pose my hand so that the X-ray machine could like see whatever bones were possibly broken. Like I imagine barbers probably have to do the same thing too. There's probably like they have like a Rolodex of different like hairstyles they can probably flip through to be like, oh, I know what you're talking about, like this. They can hold up a picture or something.
Especially because those are things that change so often,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like your hairstyle, what's popular now versus what used to be popular like 10 years ago. They have to keep up with all that shit.
Mhm.
Yeah. And like also like if you wanted a high and tight now is probably not exactly the same thing as if it's like the 80s and like, hey, I want a high and tight.
Yeah,
It's
right.
probably like the same name but like different, like slightly different style.
Some of the places that I've been to have like magazines that have different hairstyles in them, and you can be like, I want to look like this dude. Or now, I guess that everybody's got a cell phone in your pocket, you could just be like, hey, cut my hair like this.
Yeah, that's pretty common. Yeah, I've been going to this lady for like over 3 years, I think, at this point. So that's, I guess, why I'm kind of feel weird about it. But I drove by. There's like a barber literally maybe a 1 minute drive away from my house. So it kind of
God damn, that's so
is
convenient.
like I think I need to maybe try that place.
Yeah.
Like a 2-hour round trip for a haircut or beard trim or whatever. I think that's like beyond my upper limit. I think anything
Yeah.
more than like if I had to drive like 20 minutes to get a really good like a good haircut or like a good beard trim, I think that's even too much. 20
Yeah.
minutes one way.
I think I'm gonna have to pull the trigger on it.
Rico, can you just like Photoshop your hair like every couple of months, just have it look like it's growing longer and just send her pictures of yourself as a text message? Like, I'm just trying this for a while.
Yeah. Well, she's also like a bartender, so I figure like I could just stop in at her place of work and say what's up every once in a while and not feel as bad, and tip her
There you go.
and still contribute to her well-being
Mhm.
that way, I guess.
There was a mechanic for a while that I would go to, even though it was out of the way, because it started to be the one that was down the street from me at the first apartment that I lived in when I moved out of my parents' place. And I would still go to him afterwards just because the service was awesome. He was super honest, never tried to rip me off. And if I would go pick my car up there at closing time, we would literally walk together, my wife, myself, and my mechanic, across the street to the brewery that was right there. And we would like sit down and have a beer afterwards.
as fuck.
And it was
That
like always
rocks.
like
That's
super
dope.
fucking
Yeah.
fun. And I would like buy the mechanic the beer because like he'd fix my car, he like charged me a really honest rate. And even after we moved out of that apartment and went to places that were further out of the way, I still kept going back to that place. I think Rico, I would apply the same distance there. I don't think I would drive an hour to a mechanic, usually because like,
It's not smart.
especially in the case of a mechanic, you you really
engine
can't
lights
pick and
on.
choose where you want to drive sometimes. But I get the feeling, or I understand that feeling, right, of like wanting to keep using the services that you use, even if they're like a little bit out of the way, just if you have like a history with them.
Mhm.
Yeah. Plus, we have like very similar interests, so like the conversations are always kind of, pleasant. And I'm gonna have to reestablish a relationship with this new person, and I don't like doing that in general. So
You know enough people. You don't want to meet more people.
yeah,
I get that.
I know too many people. It's like
Mm.
kind of annoying. So
You'd like to forget people.
I would
You have
love
too
to,
many
yeah.
people in
Is
your
that why you
life.
don't text
got
me
you.
which I
anymore?
guess what's
Is that
that?
why you don't text me
Yeah,
anymore?
Pretty much, yeah.
You never call me on my cell phone.
Yeah, I actually blocked you.
If conversation gets awkward between you and your new hairstylist, you have a whole list of questions that you could dip into here. See
That's
what
actually a really good
his or her
point.
opinion is of
Yeah, I'll ask him if
of
Jesus
it-
fucked.
if they take the world's biggest poop, if Jesus fucked
Or you could talk about your ex. You know,
barber.
yeah, your ex barber.
That's all
could do
you.
that.
My other barber used to do this to my neck. It was awesome.
Yeah.
My other barber only charged this much.
Make him feel terrible.
Yeah,
No, it's fine. It's fine. I guess.
Actually, buzz it.
yeah.
Just
Fuck
cut
it, shave it all off.
Yeah. Do you guys have any Nair? Just apply that to my entire head. There was a mechanic I used to go to. It wasn't like super out of the way, but like it was not the closest mechanic, and I kept going there because like not because they were the cheapest, but because they would just like vacuum out my car whenever I just brought it in.
That's fucking
That's
awesome.
It was like a
Awesome.
family owned place, and it just like my car wasn't like especially dirty, and I'd bring it in, and the first time they did that, I'm like, I don't remember asking for that, and they're like, no, it's on the house. We do that every time. It's like, oh fuck, that's awesome. Especially during like the winter when you get like all the salt and shit on the floorboards. Like they were super nice to me.
You ever,
Yeah, that's an
you
awesome
ever bring
touch.
your car and be like, I swear the check engine light was on for forever until I just pulled it in. Can you take a look? Just check over everything just to get your car
Well,
vacuumed.
there's been
out.
times.
Well,
Yeah, I want that free vacuum,
Right.
please. There's been times where like I'll have the check engine light and I'll take it in for an oil change, and the engine light just won't be on anymore. And I'm like, oh, I guess it worked itself out. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
I've
it's just
been
like a
with that too.
moisture thing.
A moisture thing, Dave?
Yeah, it's like moisture in a sensor or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. The check engine light's on our current car, and it's literally just a bad sensor. Like the car is fine, just the sensor's fucked up. But like, there's a little voice in the back of my head. It's like, well, what if it's not just the sensor anymore? And it's like, well, I don't want to go take it to the fucking dealership and be like, hey, this is on, and then they look it over, and then they're gonna be like, oh, it's just a sensor. It's like, okay, I knew that. But what if
Yeah.
it's not just a sensor?
I mean, you can get one of those things that reads engine codes.
I could,
yourself
but
and
that's
just
the
read it every
problem
once in a
though.
while.
Is it'll throw the code and it'll say like the actual thing that's wrong, but the actual thing it's saying is wrong is not actually busted.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Because the sensor's throwing the
Yep.
code.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. You fucking satisfied, Rico?
I'm sufficiently pleased. Thank you.
All right on. Scott, take us
Yeah,
home,
baby.
dude.
I guess I'll give you guys the choice. Nah, fuck it. So,
Dick.
well, a little bit of backstory here. I'm in an apartment. This is my second apartment, so I still like, I don't know. I still find myself questioning my etiquette as like a tenant, as far as like when something happens, what do I tell my landlord? You know, how often should I expect things to be resolved, stuff like that, while also not wanting to be too much of a dick about it because I like this place and it's super affordable and everything.
I'm putting on my Chairman Mao hat as we
Yeah.
speak.
But
Landlords are bastards. Landlords are bastards.
Kill all landlords. Yes.
last year, I started to hear scratching in my walls and found out that there was a host of squirrels
That was just me. Sorry.
making their home inside my wall. I told my landlord about it. He got a pest dude to come out and look, which I think they just looked. I don't think they did anything. Sound went away for a little bit after they chewed a hole in the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
They chewed a hole in the wall. Then sounds went away.
They're just trying to get out.
No, they're trying to
got
get
stuck.
in. They know how
Oh.
to get into the house. They jump off the neighbor's tree all the time and they get into the house. They just, yeah. So anyway, I've got squirrels living in my house. They used to stay on one wall. Now they're also in my fucking bedroom wall, which is on the opposite side of the house. You can see the holes on the outside where they get in.
Jesus.
And every time I bring it up, I'm like, hey, this is what's happening. And I'll take videos of it. And it's like just constant scratching of the, like you can hear like pieces of drywall and like 2x4 getting like chipped off. It's
Oh,
fucking scary. So,
Yeah.
because I've brought it up and he's got a guy coming soonish to look at it for like the 8th time. What are some creative ways that I can get rid of the squirrels and or block them out without causing damage to the property? Without me causing damage to the property.
Is this the same place that had the dishwasher that was broken for like 7
No,
months?
gosh, no. Luckily.
Okay.
No, this place has a working dishwasher. It's awesome.
That's good.
But it's got squirrels that are
got
driving me
squirrels.
up the fucking wall. I think the thing that kills me about it is I'll be sitting there one day like watching TV and they'll be scratching on the wall and it sounds like they're really trying to scrape stuff off there. And I'll like
Mhm.
knock on the wall or whatever and they'll leave and they'll go away. Like they won't make a sound for like days. And I finally get peace of mind. And then I'll be laying in bed and I hear scratching on the wall next to my head. Like,
You need to build a replica building so that they use that one instead.
They get confused.
Yeah, and put like some nuts in there so they're attracted to it.
So I couldn't just.
You need to teach
Squirrels
them.
love nuts,
couldn't-
dude.
I
Or
could-
or just embrace the squirrels and invite them into your house.
I think we're past the embracing point because I have moved fully onto hate for the whole species, which I know is not a good thing to do. But in this case, I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Anytime I see a squirrel, the first thing I feel is hate. Always.
We had mice in one of our walls because our house is really old. It was one of our outside walls, and we got these little plug-in like ultrasonic fucking emitter things, and as soon as you plug that in, like within days, we weren't hearing the mice anymore.
You know, I didn't see anything like that I could have bought. I also didn't look like super hard, but I did look up stuff on YouTube of like squirrels doing like a territorial like bark or chatter, whatever you want to call the noises that they make, mixed with like some other kind of high frequency thing that was supposed to deter them. And I would just like hold my phone up on full blast right next to the wall, and they would stop. They'd go away, but then they'd come right back within like 5 minutes. So it was.
You've also tried pounding on the wall and
I
yelling,
do it all the time.
as I've
Yeah,
experienced.
I do it all the time.
Should go full Caddyshack and stick some C4 up
I
there.
actually I thought about like when they ate the hole through, I thought about just buying some rat poison and dropping it in there and then taping it up. But then my landlord said he doesn't think that's allowed in the subdivision.
But then also, if you have like dead animals in the
Yeah, it's
walls,
gonna-
you know that
Yeah.
shit's gonna stink.
It's smell like
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah. So, and it sucks because like I'll go out for a walk and I'll see them on the tree and they'll jump onto the roof and I just stand there because it's like on the second story. So I'm just standing there on the ground looking up and I'm like, God damn it. Like, what am I supposed to do? It's not like I can go buy like a pellet gun because nobody's going to want to see me stick the barrel of a pellet gun out the window, especially if they don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, I have a nice little surprise for you. It's wikihow.com/get-rid-of-squirrels-in-the-attic. Would you like to hear the 3 ways you could get rid of
For
squirrels?
it is option 1, move. Is option 2, build a similar house and put nuts in it because squirrels love that.
Build a decoy squirrel. Scott, WikiHow recommends soaking a rag in ammonia and placing it near the squirrel's nesting spot.
I'm not going to go
Okay,
buy
I tried that.
ammonia. Can I just use like cat piss or Windex or a combination?
I
of the two?
mean, I've cleaned out your cat's litter box before, and I know that it gets awfully ammonia-y.
yeah. I mean, if cat urine sits there for more than like 2 days, it gets very ammonious. I don't know if that's a word. But
You should put your cat litter in the walls.
if anything, I should just like see if I could sprinkle it on the roof outside of there. But I don't know. Is that an actual thing? Because I heard people say like if you would mix like Dawn dish soap and like vinegar, it would like help keep ants away, and that doesn't do fucking anything.
You could use like I heard
Mhm.
peppermint oil can keep certain vermin away too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that number 2?
I'm not a scientist though, so
No,
I
it's
can't
not.
verify that. It's just hearsay.
I've also been like, I'll sit there and I'll wait when I hear the scratching because I kind of want to see him like chip through. Because then the other part of me,
What the fuck? You want them to burrow?
no,
into your
because
fucking
if they
unit?
chip through, part of me wants to take like a large Bowie knife and just right into the wall.
Why don't you just stab the
Squirrels
wall and be
did
like,
it.
I heard them. They were
Oh,
coming
because
through.
then I have to explain it to my landlord, and I don't know what to do in that kind of situation. Hey, sorry, I heard squirrels, so I stabbed the wall. Anyway,
Yeah.
same amount of rent next month.
Can you try to redirect the squirrels to your landlord's actual house? Because you live right next door to your landlord.
Yeah, but I don't know if I could route them to the neighbor's garage, which is even closer. You know, the shitty thing is they probably just would have to trim their fucking tree. The neighbors have a tree. The branches hang pretty much and rest on my roof. If they cut that back, I'm sure it wouldn't be as much of an issue, but they don't.
Isn't it like a safety concern if branches are resting against the roof anyway?
I don't know.
So they should be like trimming that shit anyway.
You would think. I don't own this house, so I'm really trying not to stir up anything. But it's aggravating. I've tried like playing music or video games or whatever just to try and tune them out, and I don't know.
Are you ready for the second suggestion,
Yeah,
Scott?
it's gonna be great.
turn on bright lights in your attic, or in this case, in your walls. You
Yeah,
can
do
use
that.
the overhead light or install temporary lighting if there is no light. The squirrels will feel uncomfortable and exposed under the lights, so they'll likely leave your attic or walls in favor of a new home.
Okay.
Oh man.
Is the next suggestion just
And
put
number
a dog
3,
up
which
there?
Scott, you've already said doesn't work, disturb the squirrels with a loud radio.
Yeah.
So apparently that doesn't work. Oh, hey, it says 3 ways, but there's a fucking 4th and a 5th way. Holy
You
shit.
got to pay for
What
those,
the
though.
fuck?
Yeah, I guess so. Use a commercial squirrel repellent.
Ooh.
No. Didn't think about
When
that
you go to
one.
buy Raid at Home Depot, I don't think there's a can that says for squirrels right next to it.
And it also says avoid using mothballs, as they could be toxic to humans and pets.
So that means they're toxic to squirrels?
Probably.
You know for a fact I'm going to go buy some mothballs and chuck them up on the roof. Actually,
Chuck 'em
I was
out.
hoping to do this without spending money because it's not my property. It's just my sanity.
Yo, bro, someone's dog is gonna be walking in that neighborhood and need a mothball, and you're gonna have a
That's
dead dog. in
exactly
your
why
hands.
I'm not going to do it. Also, they cost money, and I don't want to spend money.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's also some related trending articles, including one that says signs that someone has golden retriever energy.
Oh, let's listen
Yep.
to that one.
I see that phrase a lot on dating apps, and I hate it, so you should read it.
All right, sounds good.
Golden retriever energy, so you will go fetch things when people throw them away.
That's true, and you have a very soft
Yes,
mouth.
and I also wag my fucking
I can
butt
carry eggs in my mouth without breaking
every
them.
time I get excited.
I fucking hate WikiHow,
that's
dude. I hate the fucking illustrations. Oh, this sucks.
With the bland,
This is
shitty cartoon art.
wikihow.com/golden-retriever-energy if you're listening at home. It defines golden retriever energy as having a sweet and excitable personality, much like the lovely dog breed itself.
Mm.
Those are great dogs,
So,
but
like,
I do not
A
have that
dude
energy.
who is optimistic.
Pretty much. They have energy.
Okay.
They're happy. They're genuinely
Somebody
nice.
whose will to live hasn't been crushed by society yet.
And squirrels.
What if it's a golden retriever that isn't living in an upper class white suburb?
It's okay. The WikiHow illustrations have black people, Smitty. So
Oh, nice, good,
Yeah.
very good.
so yeah.
They learned that on their article wiki how to not be make a stereotypical article.
There we go.
Have you considered making a decoy squirrel, Scott?
I did almost hit a squirrel in my car, not on purpose. But the thought did cross my mind, if I hit it, I definitely want to throw its corpse up on the roof as a message.
So I went to Google and I typed in WikiHow and then how, and then it autocorrects to a bunch of stuff. WikiHow to breathe, how to get a girlfriend, how to beat an ostrich, how to make friends,
Wiki how to get a
Yes.
girlfriend.
How to
Wiki
get
how
a
to get a
girlfriend.
girlfriend. Please, please,
how to
please.
make
Yeah.
a person happy, how to flirt, how to tie a tie. A very wide variety.
How to
of things.
flirt too.
How to do what?
How to flirt and get a girlfriend for my
Let's
boy
do
Scott.
girlfriend
How to,
first.
how to flirt with your barber.
how
and
to
not
get a
have them stop cutting
girlfriend.
your hair.
WikiHow, how to get a girlfriend with pictures.
Ooh.
Cool. Living a single life can be fun, but at a certain point, you may want to get a girlfriend. Easier said than done, right? Actually, you get a better chance of getting a girlfriend than you think. From online dating to approaching girls IRL, we'll walk you through the best strategies to start finding and flirting with the girl of your
IRL.
dreams.
Fuck off. If did the article actually say IRL?
It did, yeah.
I hate
IRL.
that so much, dude. I
Number
hate
one,
this so
wear
much.
clothes that make you feel good about yourself. So wear a t-shirt with a tuxedo on it at all
No,
times,
man.
so people know you're ready to party.
I'm gonna wear a burlap sack.
Yeah, it's comfortable, it's cheap, so people know you're frugal. If it's long, you don't have
And
to wear
shorts
pants.
that don't go down past the knees, preferably still up high enough to where your balls could still peek through.
Pick something like a concert t-shirt and jeans, a button-up shirt and khakis, or leather and denim. All
Dude,
denim. Wear a
that-
Canadian tuxedo.
That's
That'll
my
get girls.
my usual get go is a nice pair of dress jeans, some nice shoes or boots, concert t-shirt, and then like a sport coat over it.
Perfect. You're halfway there. What's
Practice
step 2?
Number 2, practice good personal hygiene to make yourself more appealing.
I'm
Bathe
out.
at
Fuck
least
that.
once a day.
Uh-oh.
You don't want to douse yourself in cologne or do any manscaping unless that's what you want.
What?
Okay. Cool.
You don't want this unless you do.
Yeah.
Don't shave your nuts unless you want to.
Yeah.
Is there a wiki
number
how on
3.
how to write a better article?
Number 3, do fun activities are a hobby so you seem interesting. That's fair. But only get hobbies so you
Be
can get laid.
interesting.
Yeah.
If I didn't ask this question in jest, I would be so fucking insulted by whatever fucking neckbeard sitting in front of his computer that's writing this stuff.
For instance, learn to play an instrument, join a sports team, take up painting, or join a pub quiz team.
Yeah, I
These
play
are actually
sports
not
team.
terrible.
You know the author of this WikiHow article gets fucking laid
Yeah,
constantly.
this guy gets
So
mass
hard.
pussy or woman, whoever. Part 2, meeting girls. Ask your friends to
IRL.
introduce you to girls they know.
Hey guys,
Yeah, well, that's
I'm
fair.
not-
Say hi to that girl for me.
Yeah.
say hi to
Hey,
your
you guys know any women?
Hey Rico, how's that girl barber of yours?
You guys
doing?
want to get hit on?
She's great. Yeah, I'll hook you up.
Thanks, bud.
Scott could be over 2 with fucking hitting on barbers.
Or I could be
Let's see here.
could be one for. She could say yes, and I just have to make a 970-mile commute to go see
Yeah,
her.
but the hygiene thing though.
Oh shit. Yeah, never mind.
Join clubs or teams to meet girls. Attend events to meet more girls. Basically, just do anything just so you can be in proximity to women.
This is
Yeah, be
the article
near
about
a-
how to
a
find
woman.
women,
yeah.
not pick one up.
Offer to help a girl with something. Doing a girl a favor could be a good icebreaker to introduce yourself. Yeah, okay.
How to be in the vicinity
whatever.
of a woman.
Try online dating if you're 18 or older. Fair enough. Part 3, impressing a girl. Ask questions to learn more about a girl who interests you.
Get a scar.
I know like there are people who
Show her the dead
Crash your
squirrels
bike.
you've killed.
hurt yourself on purpose so you can have a cool story.
yeah.
I got a band-aid on my middle finger because I cut it and I don't even know how. You think that's cool enough?
Yeah.
I burned myself on the hot pan for the 6th time this week.
I tripped in the shower and
Wanna-
broke my
wanna go
leg.
out?
I'm awesome.
Yeah.
I know there are people who get something out of these articles. I know that somebody's like actually reading this like, okay, like this will genuinely help me. But I
Writing
can't
notes.
also like I can't shake the fact that it's bizarre that there needs to be an article written with step-by-step instructions for how to meet and woo a significant other.
You know what?
Something
sucks?
about that just feels kind of odd.
One of the other questions that I had was about online dating and how to help me get a girlfriend as a joke. So now I'm out 2 questions.
Oh, here's one. Give
Son
genuine
of a
compliments
bitch.
to girls who
This is
interest
so
you.
unfortunate.
So if there's a girl you like, give her a compliment. Tell her she has
A
Nice
genuine
boobs.
compliment?
a genuine compliment.
What the hell's a compliment?
Nice boobs could be genuine.
Hey, babe, nice
Yeah.
tits.
Hey,
Do you want to cut my hair?
I love how loud you are.
I
It's
can't
great.
I can't smell your vagina from here.
Let's see here. What's the other stuff? How to breathe. Let's go to that one.
How to
Wiki
breathe.
how.
How to breathe.
Wiki how.
Every time you say how to breathe, I keep thinking you're saying how to breathe, like with a V.
How to
How to
breathe.
breathe.
Yeah, I can't
12
breathe.
Wiki how 12 ways to breathe. What?
12
I only know
ways?
one. Oh, this has 817 votes and it's only got 3 out of 5 stars. So maybe it's not very good.
3 out of 5 is
I mean,
much higher than I
that's
thought
still
it would
pretty
be.
solid.
Inhale through your nose instead of your mouth. Okay, maintain good posture. Okay, like I can't make fun of this shit. So I guess it's like the most
How to breathe better.
like elementary like stuff. But like I guess somebody out there is probably getting something out of it. Whatever. Try meditative breathing. Okay.
How to meditative breathe.
Wiki how to kiss. How about that? Let's go to that one with pictures. Oh boy. How to kiss. So you finally got the look and you're moving in for that killer kiss when it dawns on you that you need help
Mm.
and fast. If you're game to learn everything you need to know about who, what, when, where, why, and how to kiss, you've come to the right place. Whether you're getting ready for your first kiss or looking to improve your makeout technique, we've got you covered with pro kissing tips. Pucker up and let's have some fun. Oh god, these pictures are
Okay.
anime. What the fuck? I don't like this.
Smitty,
I cannot
You're
wait
ruining
for your
you're
wife to
ruining
find
Scott's-
your history before you even explain why. She's just like, "What?"
no, it's for fun.
And then like,
You're ruining
found a,
Scott's
uh,
remaining
podcast.
question about how to kiss.
Drop hints that you're interested.
Gosh,
Man, I really wish
sure-
we could kiss right now.
Should like to kiss somebody tonight. Be cool.
My interests include kissing.
Number 2, break the kiss barrier, and then in parentheses, optional. If you're feeling
What?
brave, test the waters with a small
As
kiss
in,
on the
like-
hand or the cheek. So really, just go for it, bud. Just throw that mouth out there.
That is so. That
Grab
is,
her hand and kiss her hand and say, "Milady."
yeah, that is
Yeah.
not good advice.
Consider asking for a kiss directly. Can I have a kiss, please? I want to kiss
What
you
would
so
be a
much.
more
it's
helpful
just about
article
killing
is
me. What the fuck?
how you know you got the look.
She
I
winks
feel
at
like
you.
most people just don't realize that there's somebody like a woman is hitting on them or a man. I guess
Let's
not to
see.
be sexist again.
Here's one. Stay at a manageable level of saliva. So not too
Mm.
much, not too dry.
Hey, babe, hold on. Let me
Cool.
Just be
spit all
dripping.
this extra
There's a
saliva
picture.
real quick.
The picture attached to this
Then we
is
can
like
kiss.
a
Pavlov's
lady
dog.
like wiping off her shirt because there's so much spit on her.
What?
She
What the
fucking making
fuck?
out with a fucking basset hound.
Apparently. What is
Jesus
this? Make
Christ.
sure to breathe. Optional.
Okay, thanks. You
See
go to how to
other
breathe.
article
Yeah, see how to breathe.
for tips on how to breathe.
Use your hands. Don't let your hands hang at your sides like two limp fettuccine noodles. Put them to good use.
Stick your hands in her mouth.
Yeah.
You should lift them up and then kiss one hand, kiss her lips, kiss her other hand. Kiss.
Wave them out
Use
around
your
wildly.
hands to pry her mouth open so you can French kiss.
That way
Pinch
you
her
can-
nose.
Gross.
What
I'm
is
fucking
that?
satisfied.
Yeah.
There's a
Why is there a picture of
There's-
old people? Old people
people-
don't have sex or
Old
Old
kiss.
people
bro.
kiss. Yeah, fuck you, dude.
Yeah. Is there a how to
There's
have sex
another,
WikiHow?
um,
Hold on. I need to know.
there's another website here that actually tracked the top 28 weirdest WikiHow articles, and some of these are pretty fucking awesome. I like that they also show how many authors co-authored each article.
Nice.
So you
Dave,
have
hold on.
the first
Dave,
one here
Dave,
is
wait. You
Yep.
could totally turn this into a bonus content game instead of real or fake. Instead of news, it's WikiHow articles.
I mean, I'm down for it, but I just want to fucking list these things right
well,
now.
here's another one real quick, Dave. WikiHow, how to have fun when you're poor.
Fuck me.
Gonna
You
can't
can't.
favorite that one. How to enjoy life without money.
Just bookmarked on your tool.
There we go.
We're gonna link.
Right next to
We're gonna
Google.
link that on all of our social media profiles.
Yeah, there we go. This one's probably getting a lot of traction right now. Fuck. Anyway, Dave, go for it.
Right on. So the top 28 weirdest WikiHow articles you won't believe exist.
I think I'll believe it.
Number 1, how to kill the queen ant. 4
to kill
co-authors.
what?
The Queen's Aunt.
The queen ant.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's helpful.
4 co-authors.
4 co-authors.
Number 2, how to stop a wedding. 67 co-authors.
Damn, what the
What?
What the fuck?
A lot
They
of bitter
literally in the
people.
middle of a ceremony goes, if you guys don't think they should
I
be
am
married, speak now or forever hold your peace. You can just raise your hand right there and be like, nah, done.
All right, let's break for lunch.
Yeah.
No- Number 3, with 27 co-authors, how to urinate in the ocean discreetly.
Is the step just
Go
just
in
let
below-
it go?
Yeah.
Go in
fucking pictures,
further than
dude.
dick high in the
Pictures.
water.
Don't pull your pants
Um,
down.
Don't stop announcing that you're pissing in the ocean.
I'm peeing discreetly.
Don't
You
look
gotta
at me
whisper.
peeing.
Discreetly. Number 4 with
Piss.
79 co-authors, how to buy nothing.
Sorry for that
79
plosive,
people?
Dave.
For
but what
people
the
with a
fuck?
spending problem.
Number 5 is how to calculate pi by throwing frozen hot dogs.
Yep.
I'm not a mathematician, so I'm sure that one's fine.
Number 6, how to shower with a lemon.
Like just having one, like you have to shower that thing too, or you shower, like you scrub yourself with it.
I don't fucking
These
know,
are
dude.
some of these have got to be shit posts.
I was gonna
There's
say-
no way
I was gonna say,
that
how much of this
Smitty's
are
how to breathe is number 7. It has 259 co-authors.
they're doing God's work. Good for them.
Number 8 is how to eat properly. Number 9, how to stop an adult disposable diaper addiction.
How many
What the fuck?
how many co-authors is on that
Oh
one?
man.
6.
Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ.
This is brought,
number 10.
brought to you by the Council Against Adult Diaper Addiction.
Yeah. Number 10, how to accept that your computer is slow.
Coming to terms with it like a family member dying.
Yeah.
Your computer's
Getting
in
over
fucking
computer
hospice.
slowness
so stupid.
for the teenage soul.
Oh my god.
This is a little bit of a callback to number 9. Number 11, how to determine if you are addicted to wearing diapers as an adult.
What kind of bullshit population is this?
Okay, so how to admit you have a problem, and then how to solve that problem.
Yep.
There we go.
Well, it all depends.
Hey,
Number
Very
12,
nice.
how to seduce your professor.
Number
I
1, be
don't like this
attractive.
one at all.
Number 2, don't be unattractive.
don't be unattractive.
Yeah.
Number 13, I don't like this one at all, mostly because of the image associated. How to practice nudity in your family.
I don't like
uh,
that at all.
Put a big old red X on that one.
We don't even have bants about it. We're all just like, ugh, no, next.
No. 14, how to apologize to a cat.
Pet it.
I normally just say it was your fucking fault.
Number 15, how to fight with a stick.
Can I fight squirrels?
16, how to
Like
listen
what?
to
Like
music.
monkeys? Or people?
Maybe.
How to do what? How to listen to music?
How to listen to music. 17, how to use a computer mouse.
Can we go back to the how to listen
8.
to music? Is the first step just don't be deaf?
Be
I don't
near
know.
where
This
music
is just a
playing.
fucking list, dude. I could put. Luckily, they linked the source here. Let me really quick listen. Pull that one up there. Number 1, ask friends and family you trust to suggest music for you.
Mm.
That's the first step.
Don't trust your own damn ears.
Number 17 is how to use a computer mouse. Number 18 is how to get sleep on Christmas Eve.
Who the fuck am I? 4
Here we
again?
go.
What the What is it? Like get drunk or take some sort of sedative.
Number 19 with 73 co-authors,
Jesus.
how to prevent or survive a monkey attack.
Okay. I could
So-
actually see that being very useful if you're traveling to like Malaysia or some other
Mm.
country that
Does
has
it say see WikiHow
That's true.
article about how
Monkeys.
to fight with a stick?
No, but the WikiHow picture that they're advertising here is a bunch of items with X's through them, including glasses, a ponytail, a bag, a wallet, and a contact lens.
Yeah, you can't use any of those as
As
a
weapons.
supplement to
Yeah.
your
Those-
stick weapon.
Yeah.
Those are shitty weapons, man.
Yeah.
Number 20, probably a good way to prevent number 19. Number 20, how to yell like Tarzan. Number 21, how to have fun being naked. That's a fucking no-brainer.
Now the article would have changed if you said how to have fun being naked with your family, like you
Yo,
did earlier, and it's like, whoa, okay.
Make sure everybody else is on board with that first.
Step 1, consent.
Yeah. Make sure everyone's above the age of 18.
Number 22, Scott, this might be good for you because I know you have very intense feelings about certain coworkers that you used to work
Mhm.
with, and maybe this will come true in your future jobs. Number 22, how to get someone fired.
Oh no, I'm not petty, but I will result to the how to fight with a stick article for that one.
Is there a wiki how to kill your boss?
I hope
Is
so.
Is there like wiki how
Queen's
articles
Ant?
for like illegal stuff?
I don't
How to
know.
make methamphetamine?
Number 23, how to walk.
Hmm. Is that aimed
Oh,
at children?
boy.
As a nurse, I give that to
Number-
stroke patients all the time.
Hmm.
Number 24, how to avoid becoming a weeaboo.
Ooh.
That one seems pretty easy. Just don't watch anime and forget Japan
It's
exists.
It's an image of a girl, and there's a speech bubble that just says kawaii,
Ugh.
and then it has like the red circle with the slash through it.
No.
25, how to follow someone on empty streets.
Oh,
What?
fuck.
Wait, for
All
what
right.
purpose?
33
though?
co-authors.
Oh god.
Like
Queen the podcast
to,
on that.
to
Yeah.
not. Okay.
I'm not satisfied
trying to
anymore. I
intimidate
just want it to be done.
Or not intimidate?
I don't know. I don't know
Without
what
them
your intent
noticing,
is for
so
that
It's
one.
only on empty streets. There's
Oh.
another person there, then
Gotcha.
you're fucked.
26, how to drink eggnog. 27, what the fuck is this? How to yike.
The fuck's yiking?
Oh, yiking has been called an extreme form of twerking.
What?
What?
So
All right,
there's
we need to look at that WikiHow article.
I'll pull that one
I
up
want to learn a
separately.
new thing.
And finally, number 28, how to get a religion degree online.
That seems like the easiest fucking thing in the world.
Smitty, you fighting off the smile as soon as he asked that question.
It was like, Jesus.
It was
yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Oh, dude, yiking is. Oh no, that like I know there's like the whole like stereotype like, oh, you know, kids these days their dancing is literally dry humping. It's like, bro, dude, they're literally fucking dry humping.
Dave, are you distressed?
I'm a little
Oh my
distressed.
God. Am I seeing you age like 15 years in front of us?
No, I fucking. I didn't even realize at the bottom of these articles there's a community Q&A about each one.
my
Oh
God.
God, we gotta dissect some of these.
Including yiking. There's a question: can I yike with multiple guys? Answer is yes, but you will probably be considered a, and this is in quotes, thought.
You know, that's like a 45-year-old woman who just typed that.
Yeah.
Damn, some
Yeah.
of these pictures for yiking are pretty provocative.
They're fucking humping, dude.
Yeah.
I just watched a video on YouTube. It was pretty intense.
I'm just gonna stay
Yeah.
in my corner where I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm not looking it up.
Oh my God.
God,
I
have
need
you
to
just tried
basically.
burning your fucking house down to get the squirrels out?
I could.
Dave, did you see one of the questions here with the community Q&A?
Is it the one about I'm 8 and
Yeah,
my
I just saw
50-year-old
that.
uncle does this to me whenever I come over? I don't know if it's good or bad because he's drunk when he does it. What do you
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
shit post.
What?
That's a
What
shit
the
post.
fuck? Yeah.
That's a shit post.
yeah.
But the answer is to tell your parents and get the police involved
Mhm.
and never see your uncle again.
Yikes.
That's good advice.
Oh my gosh. I find it difficult to move my butt up and down. What should I do?
I was so satisfied minutes ago, and now I'm not.
Yeah.
I feel like I need a shower. I feel gross.
All right, that's enough yiking for one fucking day. Are you satisfied enough?
Yes.
All right, good enough. If you like what you hear, many ways that you can help us to continue delivering this powerful content of reading WikiHow lists and not generating our own content in any way. Number one, you leave us a review on your podcast directory of choice. Helps the show. Ask us your questions. You can text or leave a voicemail to our Google Voice line. It automatically goes to voicemail, so don't be nervous. I will not pick up the phone. That number is 708-433-9153. Follow us at Imp Questions PDC on Twitter, r/Important Questions Pod on Reddit, or the Important Questions Podcast on Instagram. You also donate patreon.com/the Important Questions. $1 donation will unlock the bonus content category. So if you want bonus content once a month, soon to be coming, I believe starting in April or so, I think we're going to start releasing bonus content. So if you want to get in on that, $1 a month donation.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
There's that fucking attitude I was
Yeah,
looking
man.
for.
Sweet.
We will totally take your money and read off more WikiHow articles.
Here's some WikiHows I thought was interesting, guys.
Tip us, please.
Fellas, any final thoughts?
Tip us, please.
And follow us
Good
on
enough.
Twitter at whatever the fuck. I don't know. Want to plug our
Punish Dr.
You
Piss.
wanna plug the Twitters, I guess.
Smitty is Punish Dr. Piss.
Yeah.
Rico is at Big Daddy's Mommy, but from my understanding, he no longer uses it because something happened with his Twitter app.
Well, that sucks.
Thank you, Elon.
okay.
Yeah, he probably unplugged something.
Ruining my
At
life.
Fart Fucking Vader is Scott. And Dave here, I am at Russell Frodek. That's RussellFrodek. ROUDEK, since mine's the only one that's not, just intuitive on its own. More importantly, just follow at ImQuestionsPDC.
Yeah, I think that'd be the main one to plug.
Yeah, you'll find us that way.
Put our ats in the description of that Twitter page.
It'd be really bad if
That's
Elon
true.
actually kills Twitter before these podcast episodes come out. You find us on Mastodon at punishedrpiss.mastodon.social.edc. Blah 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 blah.
But only if you're on the right server.
Yeah, I think you can. I think you can check out other servers through whatever server you're on.
Or you could just not
I
have a
don't
social media
fucking
app.
know. It's stupid.
Hell yeah.
Are you guys collectively satisfied?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good enough. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Thanks for joining.